Firearm and ammunition. When we say firearm, it pertains to a weapon or barreled weapon which inflict projectile one or two or more. And when we say ammunition, it is an object that can be fired, scattered, or detonate, like nuclear bomb, explosives, and gunshot residue. Ang unang dapat gawin is hugasan ng kamay or magsuot ng gloves, then prepare the necessities like the nitric acid, and the procedure is wash your hands, put nitric acid to the right hand and left hand of the suspected person, and ba't nating kinukuha ng mga sample dito sa cheek is because madali mag-penetrate yung kwan natin, at dito din kinukuhanan ng mga skin, pangtapal ng mga deep wounds. Ang pagkuha ay sa bibig, sa mismo sa loob niya. Then small firearm, ito yung mga maliliit na baril na kung saan madali siyang itago, na kung saan nilalagay sa mga ziplock, wherein dun nilalagay yung mga evidence na makukuha and isihild ng mga investigator, which is para maging and then take picture for critical evidences of the item or object that collect in the crime scene.
Serial numbers. Letter A. If the serial number has been erased, put an identifying mark on the weapon. If the serial number has been erased, place an identifying mark on the weapon for future identification purposes. This could be a number or a unique mark, ensuring the weapon can be tracked. Letter B. Attach an identification tag. Sabi dito is, the tag should include your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. An exhibit number, likely a case or evidence number for tracking. Letter C. Put the weapon in a paper or plastic bag. This helps preserve the evidence and keeps the weapon from being tampered with or contaminated. The last is, do not attempt to retrieve the serial number using acid etch or etching solutions. Do not use acid etch solutions or other methods to try to recover an erased serial number. These methods can damage the weapon further or compromise its integrity, and they're typically not advisable in legal or evidence handling procedures.
Shoulder weapons. A. Photograph the weapon before conducting the examination. Dito naman, kunan muna ng litrato yung mga weapon bago mag-conduct ng examination. Kasi para sa documentary or kung may nabago ba sa itsura. Dito sa B, that's the weapon for concealed prints. Lagyan daw ng powder or alikabok or anuman na powder, basta yung mga example, mga polvo, ganun, basta powder, para lagyan daw yung weapon para makita yung mga nakatagong fingerprints. Dito naman sa C, do not clean or fire. Wag daw linisin yung baril or gamitin para hindi mawala yung mga evidence tulad ng fingerprints. D. Record the absence or presence of round in the chamber. Record yung mga or i-check yung mga chamber kung may laman pa or wala, kasi important dito sa investigation. E. Attach an evidence tag to the weapon with weapons, description, and serial number. Dito naman, maglagay ng tag evidence sa mga weapon nang sa ganun yung mga or ay lagyan ng yung tag mga weapon tsaka description at serial number nang sa ganun hindi magkagulo-gulo yung mga evidence or hindi sila malito. Yun lang mga dito sa F, that's the outer surface of the clip for hidden fingerprints. Dito naman lagyan din ng powder or gaya nung sa sa B, ganun, lagyan ng powder or kahit na gawing para yung outer surface para sa nakatagong fingerprints. Put the clip in an envelope and mark. Dito naman ilagay yung clip sa envelope at markahan para sa ganun hindi din magulo yung mga evidence or magkawala-wala. Dito sa H, put the unloaded weapon in a wooden or rigid cardboard box and fasten. Mark the box with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. Dito naman, ilagay din yung mga unloaded weapon sa wooden or rigid, yung rigid box, yung yung cardboard box, yung basta matibay na paglagyan or mga kahoy na box para sa ganun hindi siya masira or hindi siya magalaw kahit tapos markahan yung box ng initials, date, at exhibit number.
Number 5, fired bullets. Letter E. Photograph the bullets before conducting the examination. Sabi dito is, picturean mo muna bago ka mag-conduct ng examination. Letter B, extract the used bullet from the object, excluding the material around it. Dito naman is kunin ang residue ng bullet. Then, do not wash or clean. Ang paghuhugas o paglinis ng bala ay maaaring makasira ng mahalagang ebidensya tulad ng mga fingerprints at mga bakas na ebidensya. Then, letter D, cover the bullet with cotton, then place it in an unbreakable container. Balutin ang bala ng cotton upang maprotektahan ito. Pagkatapos ay dapat itong ilagay sa isang secure, hindi nababasag na lalagyan tulad ng plastic or metal case upang maiwasan ang pagkabasag. Then, pack the bullets separately. Sabi dito is, ang bawat bala ay dapat daw naka-pack ng hiwalay or naka-separate siya. Then mapanatili ang integridad ng bawat piraso ng ebidensya. Then letter D is, mark the container with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number.
So dito sa fire cartridge cases, A, photograph the fired metallic cartridge case conducting the examination. Kunan ng litrato ang cartridge case bago ito galawin para maitala kung ang original na kondisyon at posisyon nito. Dito naman sa B, do not mutilate, scratch, or nick head of shell. Dito, iwasan ng anumang pagkasira or galawin sa ulo or base ng shell para hindi maapektuhan ng mga potential na ebidensya tulad ng mga markings or mga fingerprints. C naman, if recovered in revolver cylinder, mark chambers to correspond with shell designation. Kung sa revolver mo naman nakuha yung shell, kung nasa Kung nasa revolver naman, markahan ang mga chambers para maitala ang tamang pagkakaugnay sa shell. D. Note as to mark of identification use. Dito naman, i-note kung anong paraan ng pagkakakilanlan ang ginamit. Halimbawa, initials or markings. Dito naman sa E, sketch showing relative position of shell if recovered on floor or sheet. Dito naman, gumawa ng sketch para ipakita ang eksaktong posisyon ng mga shell kung natagpuan sa sahig o ibang lugar. Dito sa F, transmit the information to laboratory. Scratch initial or mark of identification near mouth of shell, preferably inside the mouth. Dito naman, markahan ng initials o iba pang identifier malapit sa bibig ng shell. Pero mas mainam kung sa loob ng bibig ng sa bibig ng tawag dito sa bibig, basta sa bibig, sa loob na lang para hindi masira ang ibang bahagi. Dito sa G, do not scratch, mutilate head or reed portion of cartridge case. Dito ay panatilihin ang integridad ng ulo ng cartridge case upang hindi maapektuhan ng mga pag-examine sa laboratory. Age. Dito sa age, roll individually in paper. Dito ay balutin ang bawat isang shell sa papel para maiwasan ang pagkagasgas or contamination ang tawagin. Dito naman sa I, place rubber band around paper. Gumamit daw ng rubber band para ma-secure at mabalot na mabuti ang mga shell sa binalot sa papel. Dito naman sa J, place wrap cartridges in a heavy paper envelope. Dito naman daw ilagay ang mga nabalutan na cartridge sa isang matibay na envelope para sa ligtas na para maligtas para sa ilipit sa laboratory. Dito naman sa last, forward to laboratory. Mark the bag with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. Dito ay lagyan daw ng tamang label tulad ng initials, date, tsaka exhibit number sa sobre para sa madaling pagtukoy at documentary.
Fired paper shot cells. Photograph the fired paper shot cells before conducting examination. Do not mutilate, scratch, or make head of shell. C. Note as to mark of identification use. D. Sketch showing relative position of shells when recovered on floor or streets. Transmit the information to the laboratory. F. With blue ink or indelible pencil, mark inside of shells using initials of person recovering. Don't scratch, nick, or mutilate brush head of shell. H. Roll individually in paper. I. Place wrap cartridge in heavy paper envelope. Forward to laboratory. Mark the bag with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. Ang fired paper shot cells ay ginagamit ito sa mga crime scene tulad ng sa kaso na murder. Ang gamit na pagpatay ay pamamaril. Ang ginagamit ito na matibay na ebidensya sa korte. Kaya nitong ma-identify ang baril na ginamit at matukoy kung sino ang may-ari ng baril. Ang gamit ng fired paper shot cells ay ginagamit para isang matibay na ebidensya para matukoy ang isang suspect at matukoy din ang pinangyarihan ng krimen. Gamit ang forensic analysis. Liquids. Gather a minimum of 1 pint of the liquid using a leak-proof container. B. Fasten the container with adhesive tape and mark with your initials, the date and exhibit number. Mark glass containers with fragile. Collect a comparison standard. Ginagamit ito sa mga pag-gather ng para sa DNA test kagaya ng urine, blood, wets at kung iba pa. Ginagamit ito para mapanatili ang uri ng isang liquid na nilalagay sa container. Ginagamitin ito ng paglagay sa container at paglagay ng initials, mark, dates. Ginagamit ito upang maging isang ebidensya na para matukoy ang isang suspect sa pamamagitan ng forensic examination.
Shot wads. Photograph the shot wads before conducting the examination. This step ensures a visual record of the wads in their original state, capturing any unique features or markings. Recover as many as possible. This emphasizes the importance of collecting as many wads as possible, as they can provide valuable information about the shotgun use. C. Recover the source of wads. This step involves determining the location where the wads were found. This information is crucial for establishing the context of the evidence and potentially linking it to a specific event. D. Transmit the information to the laboratory. This refers to sending the collected data about the wads, such as their locations, appearance, and any other relevant details, to the laboratory for analysis. E. Make notes on the mark of identification used. This step involves documenting the specific method used to mark the wads for identification. This could include initials, number, or other unique markings. F. Using link or indelible pencil inscribe initial of person recovering or mark identification. This instruction specifies the materials to be used of marking. The wads, ink, or indelible pencil ensure that the markings are permanent and easily visible. G. Do not use X placed in paper envelope sealing for transmission to the laboratory. This step prohibits the use of a specific material or method donated by X for storing the wads. It is instruction to place them in a paper envelope and seal it securely for transport to the laboratory. X could refers to as plastic bag and another type of container or a specific handling method. H. Place in a paper envelope indicating source on envelope. This reiterates the needs to place the wads in a paper envelope and to clearly label an envelope with the source of the wads. This helps maintain chain of custody and ensure proper identification. I. Forward to laboratory, marking the bag with your initials, the date, and exhibit number. This step instructs to send the sealed envelope to the laboratory and to mark envelope with the initial of the person who collected it, the date, and a unique exhibit number. This further contribute to maintain chain of custody and accurate record keeping. J. Gather the spent wads and record their locations. Put them separately in paper envelopes. This step involves collecting individual spent wads and documenting their exact locations. Each wad should be placed in a separate paper envelope for safekeeping and to prevent cross-contamination. K. Mark the envelope with the required identification. This final step emphasizes the importance of clearly labeling each envelope containing a spent wad with the necessary identification information.
Number 8. Food and drug specimen. Food and drug specimen may be linked in a suspect with the crime of or carbonated other evidence. The succeeding paragraph are the outline step gathering and preserving liquid, powder, and solid or plant material specimen. Ang food and drug specimen daw is it may be lead or magbibigay ng clue para sa mga suspected person kasi food and drugs can vary from solid, liquid, or even gas which naiwan yung mga DNA nila, hair, skin, or any substances which give our authority a clue and to find strong evidence against the suspect.
Plant material. Air dry sample by putting it on brown paper for 24 hours. This step aims to remove excess moisture from the plant sample. Air drying helps preserve the integrity of the plant material, preventing mold growth and decomposition which could compromise the evidence. Brown paper is often used for this purpose as it absorbs moisture and allows for air circulation. B. When thoroughly dried, put the evidence in a pillbox or a vial and fasten with tape. Once the samples are dry, they need to be stored in a secure and labeled container. Pillboxes or vials are sustainable for small plant samples, offering protecting from contamination and damage. The tape secures the container, preventing accidental opening and ensure the evidence remains intact. C. Pack each sample separately. Each plant sample should be individually packaged to avoid cross-contamination. This is crucial for maintaining the chain of custody and ensuring that each sample can be analyzed independently. D. Weight the content. Weighing the plant samples before packaging provides a record of the initial weight. This information is essential for documentation purposes and can be used to verify the integrity of the evidence later on. E. Mark the container with your initials, the date, and exhibit number. This step ensures that every container holding plant material evidence is uniquely identified and its origin is traceable. By marking the container with your initials, the date of collection, and a unique exhibit number, you establish a clear chain of custody. This means that evidence can be tracked from the moment it was collected to its final analysis in the lab. This is essential for maintaining the integrity of the evidence and ensuring that it is admissible in court. F. Collect a comparison standard. This comparison standard is used to help determine if the evidence found at the crime scene is indeed the same type of plant material or if it could have came from a different source. For example, if a suspect is found with plant material on their clothing, a comparison standard from the suspect home garden can help determine if the plant material found at the crime scene originated from the suspect garden.
Number 3, powder or solids. Letter A, put in a container such as a pillbox or vial. Sabi naman dito is, tiyakin daw na malinis at tuyo at angkop ang lalagyan para sa uri ng sampol. Ang lalagyan ay dapat daw naka-sealed to upang maiwasan ang pagkawala ng material. Then letter B, weight the contents. Weight the contents is use digital weight scale for accurate results. And letter C, fasten the container and mark with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. Andun na po yun, maglagay daw po tayo ng ng initials and date and an exhibit numbers. Awatable naman na po yun. Then, letter D, refrigerate the evidence if required. Do not attempt to add preservatives to solid food samples. Dito naman po is, if the evidence required refrigeration, such as perishable food or biological samples, store it in a refrigerator or freezer immediately to preserve its integrity. Ito po yung mga importante. Sabi po dito is, do not add any preservatives to solid foods samples, as this could alter the samples or affect the results of any future forensic analysis. Then, the last is, collect the comparison standards. Dito is, a comparison standards is, for example, a known sample of food, biological substance, or material. For comparison during analysis, this ensures that the laboratory can compare the evidence to a known standard to identify and analyze it properly.
Tablets and capsules. A1, put the evidence in a plastic vial or a pill box. Ilagay daw mga ebidensya sa plastic vial o pill box upang mapanatili maayos sa mga evidence. B, record the contents. Isulat ang mga detail ng ebidensya para sa tamang documentation. C, fasten the container and mark with your initials, the date, and an exhibit number. Dito naman, isilang lalagyan at lagyan ng mga initial, date, at mga exhibit number bilang pagkakakilanlan ng mga evidence. D, collect a comparison standard. Search the refrigerator or cupboard for similar materials which are marked. Avoid removing the samples from their original containers. Put them in a sterile, clean containers and refrigerate to inhibit the growth of bacteria. Similarly, comparison standards for drugs are collected following the same procedure. Do not mix specimens in a single bag if they were found to close each other or even if they are similar in appearance. Diyan naman daw maghanap ng mga katulad na materyales sa refrigerator o cabinet. Pero wag tatanggalin mula sa original na lalagyan at ilagay ito sa malinis na lalagyan at i-refrigerate upang maiwasan ang pagdami ng bakterya. At wag din pagsamasamahin ng mga sample sa isang bag kahit na magkatulad ito para upang maiwasan ang mga yung mga maling para maiwasan ang mga maling pag-examine.